what's up? It's me, Weston.
And Marcelo.
And welcome to Trash Talk Arc 4.
Okay, so, you already know what we're going over, and let me just say really quickly, I'm not gonna discuss any of the stuff from, the last Crash conversation we've had before in Arc 2, so that's gonna stay there. And we're gonna solely focus on this game, which is Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped.
Oh yeah, he's ready.
Here's the case, and actually, I don't know if you can see it here, but it's actually a rare holographic case. I'm not sure if you can really see the effect there. Trust me, it is. But
no, it's
cool.
okay. I can see it. It's holographic.
Yeah.
It's kind of blurring out.
But okay, so this game came out October 31st, 1998. This is the second game we reviewed that, with the first one being SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, that came out on Halloween for some reason, and it's not a horror game.
So do we have to start a counter for this, Marcelo?
Probably.
If one more game comes across us, we're gonna have to start a counter.
A counter.
But right now, we're just gonna chalk it up to a coincidence.
Coincidence. QX Files name.
Coincidence.
QX Files name. Anyway, so you should know the people who made this game. It's Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog recently did Uncharted, The Last of Us. They're an awesome freaking.
Yeah, and in fact, right now they're doing Uncharted 4, and this guy's hyped as shit for it.
Yes.
Yeah, and then even I'm kind of just like, I want to play this game.
Uncharted's awesome.
Uncharted is a very big series, especially for Sony. So
of course,
glad to see they're continuing the story there.
So yeah, that's kind of it for a little summary of the game. So why don't we jump into the first theme, which is
Story.
Okay, so if you know Crash, see the Crash fans are the ones that are mostly gonna get it. But without going into too much detail, Crash Bandicoot 2 showed Crash teaming up with his enemy Neo Cortex to save the world because Cortex is the main villain. So you think, oh, he has nothing hidden up his sleeves, and of course he's gonna obliterate everything. So once Crash's sister Coco informs him that no, it's all a trick and everything, he uses the crystals and all that to, well, he helps in the main ending for the game when you just collect the crystals in the second game, leads to just this ending of, well, he's still there, so maybe you should collect the gems, which are these other collectibles, to see what really happens afterwards. Because one of Cortex's right-hand man, Nitrous Brio, teams up with you in the second game to help defeat Cortex. So once you get him all the gems, by breaking all the crates and finding hidden gems and such, he literally blows up Cortex's space station. So what you saw, that's the debris that falls to Earth in the third game. And with that, it destroys this ancient temple which housed the spirit of the mask Aku Aku's evil twin brother, Uka Uka. And he's the main villain of this game along with Cortex. So that's how so it goes nicely, it flows nicely from Crash 2 to Crash 3.
Yeah.
And that sets the tone for the game. So
with that, we're now going to talk about controls, and I can actually talk about some stuff because before we started filming, Marcelo had me listen to some music, had me see some gameplay, and actually had me play the game itself. And so with that, he's going to talk a little bit more about the controls, and I'll interject while he's doing that.
Yeah, so the controls, one thing I want to say, again, go into a little bit of brief backstory. With the very first Crash, the way he handles is pretty fine. It takes some people, I have Chase, as of this recording, I have Chase playing Crash Bandicoot 1, and he says that the controls were a little tough to get a hang of, and I do understand that, but I didn't have any problem, maybe because I've been playing it forever, but I am used to the controls. And kind of Luigi-esque Crash in the first game, doesn't have too much traction to him. It's not as bad as Luigi, but there are times where you want Crash to stop, and he'll still walk like 1 or 2 steps forward before he actually comes to a full-on stop. In Crash 2, they fixed that to where if you're like in mid-air, or when you're just stopping, when you're just walking and you want to just abruptly stop, he'll stop on a dime. And they fixed it pretty well. In Crash 3, it goes a little bit back to the first game's formula, where it's not too jarring to be like, oh shit, well I wanted to freaking stop, and he didn't stop. Not to that degree, but there's a little bit of that came back from the first game. Just subtle little things like that, but they're pretty, it's alright to get used to.
Yeah.
The more you play.
So now it's time to get into like the really specific controls. Like Crash has his infamous like spinning attack.
Yeah.
I don't know if that has a name.
It's just a spin attack.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
all
the spin
it is.
attack where like you can just spin and the like characters get hit and then they get launched out of the screen. That was always fun. That was fun to kind of see.
You hear that ricochet? Pew!
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
And then there's also his jump button. He also has a jump in which you can press, and then he has an extended jump if you press the circle button and then press the X button.
Yeah.
that correct?
If you're mobile, if you're walking and you hit circle with Crash, he'll slide, which was introduced in Crash 2.
Yeah, and then there was like this particularly funny walk scene, and this is because like it more annoys him. Like if you press and then hold circle, Crash will go he'll
basically.
pretty much do it like a crawl, and it's like really slow.
It's slow.
I found it enjoyable, but
So,
he was annoyed.
Here's Weston going, hey, let's just move throughout the level as slowly as possible. And I'm like, just go. Just go, man. Come on.
With that, and then there's other controls. I do believe.
Yeah, if you're stationary, if you're just idle and you hold down circle and hit jump, hit X, Crash will do like this little springy kind of jump, which is a bit higher than just his natural jump. So it makes for getting boxes that are just out of your reach.
A little bit more easier.
Yeah, sliding and jumping is an also little combo you can do where he'll slide and jump, and you can get past pretty wide-ish gaps that way.
So pretty much the controls are overall when I was playing it, since like I'm not a stranger to Crash. I have played some Crash games, but again not to the extent of this guy over here. So I'm not like
all of them.
And again like a little bit of my backstory. I didn't start to become a major gamer until like my early teenage years, like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
So before that, I was more into movies.
Well, those are your tween years because you're not a teen yet.
Yeah, my tween years.
Tween. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, I didn't start getting into games until I was like 11 or 12, and then I started really getting into games. That's when I got my Xbox 360, and then that's when I really started getting into games. With my first game on the system being Super Marvel Alliance, I think.
Oh yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, that was the first game I played on the Xbox 360 that really got me into games, because I played it with my brother. I remember I know we're kind of straying off topic a little bit.
I was gonna say, I was like,
but I would play as Wolverine. Wolverine was my favorite. Like Wolverine and Spider-Man. So
okay.
back to the topic.
Crash. So one thing I can speak about real quick about gameplay, slash like game design, I guess, is this is the first time in the series that Crash can obtain power-ups after defeating bosses, and you saw this firsthand when you got the Super Belly Flop. Because that's another control thing. When you hit circle and then X, he'll do like a little spring jump. If you hit X and circle, he'll do a body slam. The power-ups include, in this order, if I can remember them correctly, the Super Body Slam, which you can break steel crates. It's the only way you can break steel crates. Unless I think you can break them if you're invincible with Aku Aku. I think. Don't quote me on that, I'm not too sure. I haven't really done it in a long time, so I'm not really, I don't remember. But you can Super Body Slam on the steel crates, you can double jump, you can do like what's called the Death Tornado, which is like a longer, more potent spin attack, and you can actually hover in the air. So what's a cool little thing you can do, little super combo, is which it does incentivize you to do in like bonus rounds and stuff. Once you obtain the power up of the Death Tornado, is you can slide, double jump, and then do the Death Tornado and like hover in the air for a bit. So you can get across some really complicated gaps like that, and it's pretty cool. And then, so let me see, how many is that now? That was 4.
Yeah.
Body slam, double jump.
Death Tornado.
Death Tornado.
Or 3.
Oh, his run ability. Well, no, that's not the right order. The bazooka, and then the run ability, I think.
Yeah.
I want to say.
We'll probably have like a list right here.
Yeah, I think that in that order, probably. But those are the power-ups that you do get. And in one way or another, the bazooka, well, no, you are incentivized to use the bazooka every once in a while. You shoot out Wumpa Fruit. So that's pretty cool. But besides that, and the way they control in their own right is pretty, they're all unique and they control pretty alright, so.
So yeah, from a person that doesn't really play Crash, the controls were really easy to learn, and I pretty much learned them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So this is the kind of game where you can just kind of go in, just learn the basic controls, and then just go in there.
I mean, pretty much you can play this game without having played the other two. You just won't get the story very much, but this is a game you can just hop right into and you won't have any trouble being like, well, what am I doing? What am I incentivized to do? Because they'll give you the story of the game, how you got there from like establishing characters and such. That was done in the first two games.
Yeah.
But control-wise and gameplay-wise, you can just jump right into it and it's fun.
Yeah. So now we're gonna talk about a little bit about the aesthetics.
The aesthetics.
Pretty much this was made for the PlayStation, the original.
Yeah.
So it kind of has like those kind of graphics. Like,
it was their last platformer from PS1. For Crash. So
yeah, for the time period, I would say it looks okay.
It looks alright.
But it's obviously dated now.
Yeah, PlayStation-wise, graphical-wise,
it is outdated.
Dated.
But you can tell what everything is.
But Crash is one of the, just in general, the Crash games, all 5 of them, including Crash Team Racing and Crash Dash, they were like one of the better-looking franchises on the PS1.
Yeah.
So they were pretty awesome. Nice draw distance, you know, you can see everything ahead of you. One of the things I'm just going to say right now, if you remember on Video Games FTW, Jeremiah and I had played Glover. One of the horrid things about that game was the freaking bad draw distance. But Crash and Spyro, I'm just going to throw Spyro out there, have really good draw distances, so that's good to know. It's really vibrant, really colorful.
Yeah, it is a very vibrant, colorful game.
With the theme being about time traveling and whatnot in this game, you get a lot of many aesthetics, many like time periods to travel to.
Yeah.
Rome, ancient Rome.
Jurassic area.
Yeah.
Jurassic.
Yeah, with dinosaurs and such.
With dinosaurs. Speaking of that, oh my god, a dinosaur level. With that Triceratops chasing you throughout most of it, it was
He was like, oh god,
No, you can know.
Oh my god. You got
damn pterodactyls, because like there's like these ledges where you can jump. However, like sometimes like these pterodactyls would kind of block your way, so you have to go around them, or else they would just grab you and stuff, and then like just take you up in the air and kill you.
Yeah.
So that only happened to me twice, but it was pretty annoying.
Arabian, medieval themes. So there's a lot of themes in this game. Futuristic. Coming towards the end of the game, there's some futuristic themes. So lots of cool themes, and they're really good. China, you run on the Great Wall of China as Coco.
Oh yeah, and like the cutest little tiger.
He likes Puro a lot. His name is Puro.
That's a cute name.
I think we found his favorite character, folks. Anyway, gameplay, because we're talking about aesthetics. We should have talked about this during the gameplay and the controls. There are a lot of vehicles you can control in this game. A lot more things you can do here. You got the standard Crash platforming. You can play as Coco for the first time, not in platforming, that wouldn't come later until after Cortex, but you can play as her riding a plane at one point, she rides a jet ski, she rides Pura, so it's pretty cool to have her included.
So yeah, with like those kind of, with that kind of segment, you really can't attack anything. It's kind of more like you have to get past obstacles and just try to stay like, kind of weave in and out.
Yeah.
You can't, again, because you can't attack anything. In that state. So if you like bump into stuff or like enemies hit you, you're pretty much done for.
Crash rides a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, and
those levels.
And then he has a leather jacket.
But okay, tell me this, since we're talking about controls, well, we were talking about controls and such. How did you think the handling of the motorcycle levels were?
I think they were okay. I kind of bumped into stuff a little bit. My hardest time was with Coco when she was riding the
jet ski.
Yeah, the jet ski. That was kind of difficult.
Okay.
Not like, it was kind of just more like, this like kind of feels a little bit wonky a bit.
Okay, yeah.
But I guess it could be due to like limitations with like the software during the time, so probably like.
Well, I think they were. Well, see, here's the thing. I'll just throw it out there. They made 3 separate engines for this game to run those various play styles. So they have the main platforming segments that came from the last 2. They had one specifically for the jet ski, and the other one, if I'm not going to say it correctly, no, it is. It's the planes. Because you didn't see those levels, I don't think. Did you see them? You didn't play them.
I saw them. I didn't play them.
The plane, those ones were pretty alright, but there was a separate engine for all 3 of those. So that was actually pretty incredible. They had 3 engines in this game.
Oh yeah.
At the time, that was actually pretty.
Do like games put more than one engine in nowadays?
As far as I'm aware,
I don't think so. Well, I think like the way
I wouldn't be sure.
I think like the way the engines are done.
You can do like many things.
You can do multiple stuff. Well,
Yeah.
like engines back then, they were only meant for like one certain thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the engines during this time period, which is
whatever the hell engine they use, which I think might be the traditional platforming for Crash on the motorcycle. I personally, when I was younger, found that to be one of the hardest controlling. I never liked those ones. You see, I'm not completely like for one-sided. I can say that even when I was younger, and not even analytical as I am now, I never really cared for the motorcycle levels. They were pretty hard to control, and still kind of are for me, but I am a little bit more used to them. And
yeah.
I can handle them a bit better than I could back then, but I never really liked those levels. They were frustrating me.
Yeah, so pretty much aesthetic-wise, it looks okay for the time period.
But they're fine, yeah.
It looks okay for the time period, but during this time period...
Less polygonal.
It is less polygonal.
Than the first game. The first game...
Yeah. I've seen the first game. It looks
more detail.
Pretty polygonal.
More detail. In the textures and the models and such, so overall... Because a thing that I love that Chris pointed out in his retrospective of the trilogy is that every game, with the first game in '96, the second game in '97, so they were all a year, and this game in '98, they were all a year apart. So the fact that they were able to see what worked, see what didn't, and upgrade and do and enhance in the course of for each game in their own right, a year's worth of time, that's incredible. So
well, of course it is. It's Naughty Dog.
I know, it's awesome.
I don't know if I should say this or not.
What?
But Naughty Dog is gaming Jesus. They're just that good. I can't name a single bad game from them.
See, that's the cool thing about them. Sorry that we're going off topic again, but even they have said that they are one of the companies that their style, how they are, and yeah, as far as I've seen,
they're not EA, or which we call them, the gaming devil.
Shots fired. Anyway,
hopefully EA doesn't sue us for slander.
Well, let's stop talking about them. You know that they said this themselves, but it's really true. Anyone can say this about Naughty Dog. You know the quality that you're about to get when you see a game with Naughty Dog slapped on the case. You'll know that it's going to be good, and they're going to do their darndest to bring a great ass game into your hands. So Crash is the start of that.
Yeah.
So after aesthetics, we got the soundtrack, right?
Yeah, soundtrack, and I actually did listen to some of the soundtrack, mainly the boss themes.
Yeah.
The boss themes were really cool. It's not
invigorating.
I don't know why I was thinking it, and I thought it was like the acapella version of it.
Oh.
But I remember it was for Crash
To
Insanity, yeah.
With acapella music?
Yeah, with the acapella. So I was thinking, oh, there might be acapella. But no, it sounded a lot like...
That was unique. I don't know why. I don't know what incentivized the guys at, was it Vivendi? Traveler's Tales? Whatever. It was Vivendi. To be like, let's bring Sparmouth on board. Thank God they did. But I'm just saying, like, that's the only time... Well, them, there in Twin Sanity, and in Tag Team Racing were the two games that they had. But Tag Team Racing wasn't full-on acapella. It was Mark Barrel, who was this one composer, who went on to compose Blind Over Mutant and Crash the Titans, and Sparmouth. In conjunction, they did Tag Team Racing. But Sparmouth on their own did Twin Sanity. The one who did, I'm pretty sure all of the PS1 Crash games is Josh Mansell, who was part of this group called, I hope I don't butcher this name, it's gonna sound a little funny, Mutato Musica? I'm gonna have it up here, spelled correctly. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's
would it be like pronounced like Mutato Musical?
Musica.
There's
no L.
Mutato Musica.
I guess so. That's like, I think the place
I'm not
or something.
butchering it. I'm usually pretty good about not butchering stuff.
Josh Mansell, that's the composer for the music in all three of the Crash games.
And pretty much, yeah, the music was pretty good, especially with like the boss battles. It was just like really energetic, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna fight.
It keeps that motif of in certain ones, like in certain pieces, like what is it? The Boneyard dinosaur levels. They have like the xylophones and stuff playing, and it's still really tropical, like Crash has always been.
Yeah.
For like the last two games, they really, it really matches and it really feels good. It sounds good. With the Great Wall of China music, that music, with what else? The medieval music, the Arabian music. There's really good pieces of music in.
Yeah, it sounds like it matches the area pretty well, and it kind of brings out the best of like those kind of areas of music.
Yeah.
So I really did enjoy the soundtrack, especially for the bosses, because they really were energetic and really felt like, oh, I'm gonna fight this guy.
Yeah. What piece of music could you say from there that was probably your favorite?
I like the Tiny Tiger, music. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Probably because I got like the most exposure of that one.
Yeah. I think mine would have to be the medieval theme. It's one of the ones you hear quite a lot throughout the game because there's lots of medieval theme levels throughout the game, and it sounds cool. So.
Now that we got soundtrack out of the way, now let's go to characters. And pretty much I do know a lot of the basic characters. I know of Neo Cortex. I know about Crash, and his sister Coconut. I thought it was a girlfriend, but
Coco. You said coconut. You were close. A for effort. Coco.
I'm sorry. I have coconuts in the mind.
Let's get a replay of that.
And his sister Coconut. The worst thing is I'm not a fan of coconuts, so.
Yeah, well.
I could have said cocoa as in like hot cocoa, but
there's a level named Hot Cocoa in the game. It's a jet ski level. It's a secret jet ski level. Anyway, yeah, this game, let me say, also is notorious for its secrets that Crash 1 and 2 had, so pretty cool. Yeah, so you have one of the two new enemies that they introduced in this game are Dingodile and Entropy. Dingodile being half dingo, half crocodile. And Entropy.
And I actually do remember Dingodile because he was like my favorite character to play as in like Crash Bash. And I hated that monkey with the
Rillaroo. Yeah.
I hated that guy.
Because he was only for that game. He didn't come out in any other game.
Like, did he have a banana for a tail?
No.
I used to call him Banana Butt.
Really?
Yeah, I used to like. When I got mad, like, oh, you stupid banana butt. It looked like there was a banana shoved up his butt. With like his tail. Like, what
That's
was
his tail. I don't know. Maybe he was supposed to be a composite of Dingodile. So Dingodile's like opposite, I guess.
That's probably why I hated him. Stupid old banana butt.
Okay.
I don't remember his name, but I just remember I used to call him
Rillaroo. That's his name.
Okay, so banana butt.
Okay, so you have Dingodile and Entropy. Entropy is plays a good factor into this game.
Because from what Marcelo's told me, he's the one that kind of creates like these warp zones and all that in the game.
Yeah, the whole hubble of itself is called the Time Twister, so machine. So Time Twister machine.
So yeah, like Entropy is kind of like the guy that creates it. And I noticed from his boss battle, because I've seen his boss battle, like he kind of does like stuff with like noise.
He has like a staff that really just kind of shoots out beams of like energy.
Yeah, and then you have to and then after like that stuff happens, like there's like little platforms you have to jump onto and then do like the spin.
You tap them, yeah.
And then you have to kind of go like around again.
The boss battles are pretty quick, so one could argue that they're not as like innovative. Although I would say in design they are. As short as they are, they're still, you're taught what to do when you see. Okay, so let's just take Dingodile, and then more with the newcomer, for example, in his boss battle.
Yeah, and I also did see his boss battle. Like pretty much he like shoots like there's like 3 like circles of like crystals in which like he kind of defends himself, and he shoots like air blasts in the air,
and they come down.
And pretty much, and then after that he shoots like lasers in which breaks like his defenses, in which you can like go through them and then do like a spin.
Yeah, like the first time you see him go and break the crystals, you're like, I gotta use that to my advantage. So they're really innovative. They're short, but they're innovative.
Yeah, and then like every time after that, he'll like start shooting more and in like different directions and more random directions in which you have to kind of keep on your toes about it.
Yeah.
So and again, like with like that Tiny Tiger, like he does like 4 initial hops until like he like does like a stab.
For the first time, because then
for the first time, and then after that, he does like more hops, and they're kind of more random based.
Yeah.
Hops.
Well, he's mainly following you. Did you get that when you were
Yeah.
Every time he hops, he's hopping after you. So it's only, he's not going to follow exactly where you're going, but I guess the boss reads, with the data, I'm just gonna get a little technical here. I think it reads like where it finds that you last were and will go after you.
Yeah.
So it seems random, but he is following kind of your path, but in a more like, it's just gonna target certain places you were in where you're running, and he'll go after you. So that's kind of, it seems random, but it's kind of not.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, he did that in the second game as well, because he was introduced in the second game. So yeah, the characters in this game, you know, a lot of them come from the second game and even the first. And
except for Dingodile and Entropy.
They were the two new comers to this game. And they remained stays since then, so that's pretty cool. The Cortex boss battle, I guess spoilers if you don't want to hear the boss battle. Again, I know that
it's a retro game, so...
But maybe if you haven't played it and you want to check it out and you don't want to hear the final boss battle, then skip it. If you already know this game as well as I do,
skip to, like, if you don't want to hear, I guess we're going to call it spoilers.
Right here.
Just like head for this time spot right where he had it, and then it will just take you to.
I would rather just have us be like, if you don't want to see it, don't see it. So that way, in case they want to get invested. Here we go. The Cortex boss fight. It's a step up from the second one. The second of the three initial PS1 Crash games, the second game's Cortex boss fight was not all that great. I'm just gonna say that because you're chasing them through space, okay, and you have to hit them a couple times. It was a little not so innovative, but that's just my opinion.
It was kind of just like, yeah.
It was okay, but yeah, it wasn't as big as the first game or even as this game. Because in this game, with Uka Uka on the prowl now, he and Aku Aku fight. Oh, what's going on? My phone's going off. Anyway, the gimmick to this fight is with Cortex that Aku and Uka are fighting, and you have to watch out for them getting in your way in order to dodge Cortex's little mines that he'll throw out. And he has a shield over him. So once that shield leaves, then you can smack him off his little hoverboard. You have to smack him into this hole in the middle of the ground, and that's how you defeat him 3 times. And it gets a little harder with each time because of Aku Aku and Uka Uka's attack patterns. They change within every time that you have to go after Cortex. So it's pretty cool because there's like 2 battles going on at the same time. You don't have to you don't interact at all with Aku Aku and Uka Uka's fight, because their fight is an obstacle in this boss fight between Crash and Cortex.
So yeah, there's like a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on, yeah.
It's like, Crash, you deal with Neo, I'll deal with Aku Aku or
Uka Uka.
Uka Uka. I get their names
close!
confused.
You're getting close. A few
You
more
can tell
clarifications.
I'm trying to
Get
be
the lean
smart.
around.
I'm trying to be smart, but I'm coming off as smirked.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so now you can come back to us here. This is the
We're back!
Yeah. So the characters are awesome. That's all I gotta say. The newcomers, only 2 of them this time around for main enemies, but they
I would argue that Dingodile was kind of just more, like, he was kind of more of like the more relevant one to kind of stay.
Yeah.
I don't think Entropy you see anymore.
Entropy.
No. I'm getting closer.
There were a couple games he came out in. Like he came out in a couple of the. He came out in one of the handheld Crash games on the Game Boy where he was the main villain.
But yeah, but not as
much as Dingodile.
Yeah.
Because Dingodile was like what in Crash, Bash, Crash, like 2 out of 3 of the racing games, the main racing games.
Yeah, and then he was also in a lot of like the Nintendo DS games.
Yeah.
Like I remember he was in like Clash of the Titans. He was like a boss.
Yeah, Crash the Titans. Yeah.
And he had like that fusion gun thing that he used.
Yeah.
So that's a common thing with Dingodile, I know for sure. Yeah, he always has like something on his back.
Yeah. He was into insanity. So yeah, he was in a lot more than Entropy, but Entropy was off. It comes and goes.
Yeah.
So
with that, it's time to give our verdicts.
Oh no! Before that, does this stand up as a sequel?
Yes, it does.
Hell yes. It improved the second game in almost every way possible, and it's just
everything that a sequel is supposed to do.
Yeah. Not a rehash of anything. It continues
not a
the story.
rehash of anything. It continues the story and it innovates on the gameplay, which is all the things that a sequel needs to do. So it does that. It gets a check mark for everything. You're a good sequel.
Verdicts. 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Your verdict.
So he kind of just went ahead. Like, I'm gonna give it a little bit more.
Should I be a little less biased?
You probably should, but no, I'll let you have that 5 out of 5. I'm gonna go a little bit less.
That's my tentative. I have to like really start playing it again to be like, is this one of the greater Crash games? But for right now, I jumped the gun. 5 out of 5 for right now.
He's a big Crash fanboy.
For right
you
now.
can tell.
Did you say fanboy?
Yes.
I don't like that term. I'm not a fanboy.
Okay.
I'm a really hardcore fan of Crash, but I don't like the term fanboy. Go ahead. Very good time for you.
Okay. Fanboy.
So.
Okay, so my verdict, the gameplay was pretty easy to get into. Again, the story, I kind of could follow it, but again, I didn't play the first 2 Crash games, so I can't really judge it by that.
Yeah.
But I know what kind of happens throughout, like, the crashes before that, so with that, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. There were some technical problems, especially with like the jet ski, because that kind of felt awkward and all that. And the driving section could probably be done a little bit better, but due to maybe like software limitations, that's probably the best they could do.
Probably.
There's
There's so much that went into this game anyway. You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going for this game. So there's a wide, like kind of like variety of gameplay going here. So that's why I kind of give it a 4 out of 5. So
they couldn't really try to focus on perfecting any one area of gameplay.
And besides, it's Naughty Dog. You're forgiven, Naughty Dog.
They did what they could, and it's still a freaking great ass game for that. So
yeah, 4.5 out of 5.
4 out of 5. 5
That's still an A plus.
Tentative 5 out of 5.
That's it.
Right.
That's pretty much still an A.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we expect that from Naughty Dog.
Ding. Okay, so that's
They die for our gaming pleasure.
die. Hell, they're still alive. They're still.
Oh,
going.
wait, no, they're still living for our gaming pleasure. That shit. Keep on making those good games.
I think
Naughty Dog.
we've sung Naughty Dog's praises enough. They're awesome. So just keep being awesome.
We are fans of Naughty Dog.
So I'm Marcelo.
And I'm Weston.
This was Trash Talk. See you guys later.
Oh yeah, he's ready.
PlayStation